we've certainly reached the next level. We sometimes might think that the next level looks different on the outside, when actually it's all on the inside. Change first happens on the inside and only later shows on the outside. Change is not loud necessarily. Change is sometimes quiet and unassuming. Quiet, maybe it was not necessary to go after the form we previously thought. Maybe there is a realization that the form can be different than expected and we still can achieve desired results. It all starts with a perspective shift, and the question is, how much can we change perspective while we can still tolerate it, because it's not easily tolerable. It's quite the challenge to stay with it, because it's not directly rewarding. At least it's not perceived in that way. It's more like a slow build-up. It might not seem satisfying at first, and it might never will be. It might never get comfortable. It might always stay challenging. There mightn't be a need anymore to fear it, although it can be terrifying. But with practice, I think we can be able to withstand it better, because the recurring exposure makes you more receptive, and it makes you capable of bearing it for longer without collapse. You might feel the urge to resolve it. Notice what happens when you don't. It can be really uncomfortable, even more so when you finally decide to let go of, when you decide to go all in, because then the resistance can become stronger. But resistance is not always something to be afraid of. Resistance can be used as a training tool, and there might drop the need to control, to regulate, and watch what happens with the resistance. Normally it resolves, but not all the time. Sometimes the opposite effect can occur. Resistance might get stronger, but don't fight it. There's no need to fight it, even though it's tempting. The best thing to do is not to fight it, but to turn your back. This will be more effective than fighting it. So this resistance, it can be quite intense, and more so if you let go of the need to control or of the need to try to avoid it. Maybe it is showing something, but I think it's only possible if you're learning to bear it, even though it's very uncomfortable, or it can be very uncomfortable. Many valuable things in life are challenging ones, and I think this is no different. If it would be easy, it's probably not valuable, and it can be quite intense. Resistance. So when we did a good job, we can take some time to appreciate ourselves. When we did something challenging, we should take some time to appreciate our accomplishments. And the bigger the challenge, the more we can appreciate, because we might sometimes forget that we are deserving of appreciation, even without solving a challenge, but even more so when we solved a challenge, or we performed under difficult circumstances. It's certainly not always easy for me to make these videos because they can trigger some pain or some discomfort. So it's also important for me to not go too fast with it, to also honor my own boundaries and limits and take on only what I can handle at the moment, to not overburden. So when we go in that way, things get easier and we can handle bigger challenges. Let's take a moment to think about what's open. And I've noticed some resistance to one of the things I wanted to say. And resistance is always an indicator. It's always an effect of something. And we should strive for identifying the causes